Hello and welcome. My name is Sandy Franks. I'm the executive publisher for the Taipan Publishing Group. I've asked Zachary Scheidt of New Growth Investor to join me today to share his thoughts on the market and talk a little bit more about the stocks in a new growth portfolio. So thank you for joining us, Zach.
Absolutely.
It's been a while since we chatted. Let's talk a little bit about the New Growth Investor. The whole idea is to find tomorrow's leaders today. Can you explain a little bit about what that means to our readers?
Yeah, well, definitely we're looking for growth stocks. These are companies that have the potential to grow 50, 60, 80, 100 or more percent over the next 6 to 12 months. And what I'm specifically looking for are companies that have something new going on. Maybe they have a new executive who is going to be driving growth. Maybe they have a new product that's not been seen on the market before, and it will be driving new revenue and new customers. Or maybe they've actually gotten into a sector offering their same products to some new customers. So there's something new going on, a catalyst that's sparking this kind of growth and leading to a much stronger and more exciting investment.
And that actually brings me to my next question, because in looking over the portfolio, I noticed that you had recommended a private equity firm. And so when you think about new growth companies
Right.
and private equity, they don't seem to go together.
Oh, that's not true at all.
Okay, that's
Let me explain.
okay.
The company that we're talking about is actually, it's a growth company in and of itself because they are interested in buying out small companies, making changes, making these new growth changes, and then selling these companies at a profit. So they are in a place where they can grow astronomically as this economy, either the economy recovers or not, they are in the place where they're making decisions on some really neat investments, and they can capture all kind of profit potential. The other side of this coin is that these guys are really the incubators for new growth investments. So as they come up with these ideas, they invest in them, and then they sell them to the market in an IPO transaction. These are great companies for us to look at and then get involved in later over the next 6 to 12 months. So they're really two places that we can benefit from this private equity company.
So the private equity firm then is actually buying these little companies.
Right.
Is that right?
Right.
And they're the ones who have some new aspect.
Right. Right.
So when someone is investing in a private equity firm, then in fact they could be getting a little sliver of
Right.
multiple.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're involved in 15, 20, 30 different growth companies just by buying this one private equity company.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to ask you is your background. You were a former hedge fund manager, and I think that makes perfect sense for you to be in a position to help readers make some tremendous gains from the companies you're recommending.
Right.
But just tell us a little bit about that and how that worked.
Well, it's a neat experience being able to come with the background of a hedge fund manager because the information flow is so different than what you could get just by looking on the internet and finding stories on different companies. I'm at a place where I've been able to develop relationships with the movers and shakers on Wall Street. And it's interesting to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody who is actively managing a deal where they're getting a stock to the market. And I can call them up and say, what are you seeing on this opportunity? What kind of risks are we dealing with here? Where are the benefits going to come from? And so this, I don't know if you want to call it a golden Rolodex of
Right.
contacts that I can get in touch with and find information, really helps me to be able to bring that information to our readers and find some opportunities that probably wouldn't be available to them otherwise.
Let's talk a little bit on the bigger picture, and that's the economy. Bernanke says that we're definitely out of recession.
Good.
Some people would say we're not. And so I'm wondering, where do you think we are? Is the recession over and we're into recovery? Or do you see something completely different?
I actually do see something completely different. I think there are opportunities. There are some wonderful opportunities right now, but I don't think we're out of the woods yet. So we have unemployment that continues to be high. We have a contraction in the amount of credit that's available to consumers. We have household wealth that has been hit very hard because of losses in jobs, losses in people's portfolios, and losses in the value of their homes. So all of these are still working their way through the system. It's still going to take some time for those fundamental issues to work their way through. So we've still got some pain left. At the same time, there are some incredible opportunities right now in new growth type opportunities, new growth stocks, because many stocks have gotten hammered to the place where they're an incredible value. And over the next 6, 12, 18 months, as things eventually do turn, and they will eventually turn, those are the companies that you want to be in today because they're going to show the promise over the next several years.
Talking about looking in the future, are there particular sectors that you think an investor should be on their radar for next year, for 2010?
There's several that I'm looking at right now. The one that I get the most excited about is the healthcare sector. You know, we've had plenty of regulation that's been passed or been proposed, and there's so much back and forth that investors have very much stepped away from that particular sector. And what happens is the prices for many healthcare companies have declined just because people are scared of the sector. And so that gives us an opportunity to pick through these individual companies and say, all right, where is that fear warranted and they should have a lower price, and where is that fear it's just fear.
Right.
And so then you can buy some of these companies that are
really good prices.
Oh, they're great prices, and you look at the demographics of what's going to happen as far as people are getting older, as this country and the global economy needs more health care provided to it in the forms of drugs or managed care or even insurance. So many of these companies offer great opportunities for rebounds as things get more certain.
They get better. Now I want to switch gears.
Okay.
You have a trading service, and in this service, you recommend that readers take position in what you called a silver shot, which was really just a play on silver. Let me just ask you, what do you think is going to happen with silver and gold going forward? You think it's going to continue to rally, or you think we'll see it maybe go downward?
I think it will continue to rally. However, I think there will be plenty of back and forth. Gold and silver are definitely volatile asset classes, and that's why we're involved in a trading service, so that we can participate in the gains as things move back and forth. But I do think over the next 6 to 12 months, we're going to see a sharp rally in the price of gold and silver. Silver is particularly interesting because silver is used as an industrial metal, as well as a precious metal. So it's a storage of value, but you also use it for many different processes within the regular economy. So silver has potential to rally, whether it be on news of an improving economy or on news of wow, we're printing so much money, we need to have something that holds its value.
Right.
So there's kind of two different bullish arguments for silver, and I'm really excited about where that asset class could move over the next few months.
We're going to run short on time, and I just have one final question for you, which is, are there any pieces of advice, recommendations, suggestions you might offer readers of things that they should be thinking about or looking to do for the next, several months?
I would say, as far as investing is concerned, you need to have a plan. It's always important to understand why you're getting involved in something, what would cause you to back out of a position, whether it be loss control to say, I'm only going to risk a certain amount of my money on a particular position, or whether it be profit potential, where you say if a position doubles, I want to go ahead and take half of my gains off the table. But to really have a planned approach to investments, not to come into it accidentally or unwisely, but to know what your plans are along the way.
So planning is a big, important part.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, our time is up. Thank you for sitting down with me. If you'd like to learn more about Zachary Scheidt and the service he runs, you can do that at our website, taipanpublishinggroup.com.